Kamen Rider Zeztz episode 9, Poison, was a fun one. I enjoyed it a lot. It was written by Yu Takahashi, directed by Kazuya Kamihoriuchi, who directed the last episode as well. And I enjoyed a lot of it. There were some revelations for sure. And I want to talk about the whole dream logic thing and how the dreamer works and how the nightmare works, because there's interesting things going on there. And yeah, basically I thought it was cool. The action was a lot of fun. Axe form is very enjoyable to watch fight. He's very fast, very agile, but he also does a lot of very heavy moves, overhead chops and things like that, which is a lot of fun to see. I don't know. I'm sure there has to have been at least one other Kamen Rider who had an axe in Ryuki. I'm going to say it was a gazelle guy or a rhino guy or something like that, but I don't quite remember, and I haven't seen all of Ryuki. I've seen Dragon Knight, Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, and they use the same suits for that, so I'm having a hard time remembering which one had it, but there's one of them was called Axe, so it was probably Kamen Rider Axe from Dragon Knight, but he's something else in Ryuki. So anyway, I thought that was a lot of fun. I thought the action was a lot of fun, and the visuals that came along with it were quite enjoyable. I gotta say, that fake out in the beginning of the episode where we think Baku's dead, or I guess his heart or breathing did stop, and then Nem proceeds to shoot him with the recovery capsule was pretty cool. I find it interesting and I find it strange that when he used it previously, it damaged him, and in the last episode, and then when she used it at the beginning of this episode, it blew her out of the room and knocked her into another area in the dream or whatever. And then after he's revived because she shot him, that's fun. He takes the capsule and he rolls it or activates it along the bodies of the two sous chefs who are taking over from Sano or Shano. It's got to be Sano, right? Yeah, Chef Sano. Anyway, so he rolls it along their bodies, and it seems to activate just fine on them without causing them any harm. And I find that interesting because firing it from his weapon and using it himself seems to cause harm and cause strain. Even later on, when his axe is broken and he repairs it, he experiences strain. And I don't know if that has anything to do with what Nox said last episode, that he'll learn the limits or the cost of the power. I don't know if that was the power of that specific capsule, or if that's the power of dreams in general. And we're not told that, and we're not really shown that either. It's just kind of left to be this vague thing that's kind of hanging out there. And it's something, I guess it's a mystery going forward that we'll have to contend with or deal with. So that was kind of interesting. Getting to the dream logic thing, or the dreamer and nightmare logic, I guess what happens is that people's dreams are being turned into nightmares against their will, obviously, and that's not very nice. And that's the power or the method, I guess you could say, of the nightmares. It's to take someone's dream and twist it into something scary and painful for them. And I don't know if the nightmares feed off of that or get some sort of energy off of that specifically, or if they need to, or frankly, I don't even know if that needs to be explained. It just needs to happen so that we can have the action happen, the action take place, and entertain us. But I do just find it interesting that we don't really get what's happening there, and we don't know the mechanics of it yet. So yeah, like I said, that's interesting, and I like it. Let's see, that's it. That's only 2 images. Great. Anyway, so I don't like that we don't get the full insight into the mechanics, but whatever. We have to take what we can get, right? So besides not knowing the mechanics of the nightmares, what interests me is that I guess that Sano's the dreamer, and his dream is to have a successful a successful mission feeding this foreign dignitary and whatever Japanese ambassador was there to meet with him. And his dream is to do that so that he can have a successful last showing in order to help him accomplish his goal, his dream of passing on the Shirogane or the Royale Shirogane restaurant reputation and prestige, whatever, to his sous chefs so that they can take over, because he's old and ill and dying, and like that's why we got the scene in the hospital from the end of last episode. It's because he knows there's something wrong with him, and he knows he's not going to be able to do this forever. So his dream is to pass it on to the next generation who can take it over from him, just as he took it over from whoever was before him. I don't know if it's a family business. I don't think it is specifically. I think these are just people that come along and take up the mantle from the predecessor, which I think is a cool idea. I like that. And just the nightmares messing that up. And I mean, Nox refers to himself as a wanderer of dreams like Nem, and by the end of the episode, spoilers, but you've already seen the episode, right? So, why would you be here if you hadn't? We find out that Nox is Fujimi's old partner, and he was like a junior partner, and he ends up disappearing. We don't know why he disappeared, but that's what Fujimi's, part of his disappearance is what's motivating Fujimi to solve these black cases, partly so he can find his partner, and also just because, if he can help people, then he wants to. It's his dream to be a police officer and to help people. And it makes me wonder, what does Nox mean that he is a wanderer of dreams, just like Nem is? And how is it, like, mechanically what's going on? Was Nem an ordinary girl, and when she was hit by that car, something happened to her and something interacted with her and turned her into a equivalent actor to Nox, and he's Nox and she's Nem? Or maybe the name doesn't matter so much. Maybe there's something deeper. Maybe there's some secret name that she has that makes them the counterparts of this dream interaction thing, interacting and intersecting with the nightmares. I don't know. What I'm saying is I don't know, but I'm intrigued by the mystery that it's setting up. And they did this thing where they zoomed in on her earlobe, and she has like a butterfly earring on. And I don't know that I've noticed her earrings before this episode. It's possible she was always wearing butterfly earrings, or she wasn't always wearing butterfly earrings. But if she was, it feels significant because they put emphasis on them in this episode, and it would give us a clue of how they're linked, especially because the nightmares and the dreams appear as a butterfly. So the butterfly connection I want to talk about. Butterfly, hold on, why is it psyche? Something about psyche, which means soul in Greek, is associated with butterflies, not just from Persona, but just in general. And there's this old saying from Shangzi. Let's see. What does it say? And I do know this from Persona. So only after the Great Awakening will we realize that this is the great dream, and yet fools think they are awake, presuming to know that they are rulers or herdsmen. How dense. Now I do not know whether I was then a man dreaming I was a butterfly, or whether I am now a butterfly dreaming I am a man. That's an interesting thing. This does not have the whole excerpt, but you can see there's definitely an old connection between butterflies and dreaming, and it makes sense that the nightmares spread out on the night that the bomb nightmare escaped and manifested in the world. They went out as these butterflies, and then when Baku has saved people, the dream flies away from them as a butterfly. And even in the opening, there's this really cool shot where he walks up to the camera as Zeztz, and then he transforms or whatever, changes back into Baku, and then he lifts his gun and shoots, and this bullet goes through a butterfly, destroying it, kind of representing that his mission is to destroy these butterflies that represent the nightmares. But nightmares only exist because dreams exist. So I'm wondering what's like the big stakes world building cosmology of it all, being stated with Nem and Nox being these wanderers of dreams, especially when he went missing as one guy and then came back as Nox, who has this power over dreams, and Nem is kind of similar in a way. She had this accident, and she vanished in a black case type thing, and now she's somebody who appears in people's dreams at different times. And anyway, there's just a lot of fun, a lot of exciting stuff going on here, and I like it. It's really cool because we get the moment between him and Nem, and I noticed that he has, these triangle, circle, square, circle, and she has, let me see. I don't have it here, unfortunately. Hold on. This might be a stretch, but she kind of has these similar, she's got a triangle, she's got a square, she's got circles in these appliques here on her outfit, and that's kind of interesting. I wonder if that's supposed to mean anything, or if that's just supposed to make us wonder if it means something, and maybe it really doesn't. Anyway, I just think it's interesting. There's interesting, storytelling, writing stuff going on here. I'm very curious to see how this all pans out. And let me know what you thought about the episode itself, what you think about these things that are going on with the lore, what you think about the fact that Space Sheriff Gavan is replacing Super Sentai in TVLC's 9:30 slot, according to official sources that I saw from August Ragone and this affiliate TVLC, this affiliate of TVLC. Anyway, I think it's pretty cool that we're getting some firm knowledge on that. And if you want to talk about that, we can talk about that, as well as the content of this episode and I guess of my review. Anyway, let me know what you thought in the comments. You can find all my work at mjminers.com. And I'm spiffing some things up. I'm going to be catching up on Omega. I have a lot of plans to keep going solidly with Henshin Inspection, doing a lot of cool, fun stuff here. And I asked that you would join me so we can have a good conversation about these things. Anyway, until next time, folks, take care. Be well. This is MJ with Rider Tears, brought to you by Henshin Inspection, signing out. Oh, wait, before you do that, check out the trailer for my book here, too. It's pretty cool. It has magical bugs battling monsters. Magical bugs battle monsters in this exciting fantasy adventure. Gremlins prey upon children. Growbugs protect them. When a gremlin finds a hidden growbug fort, the whole flock makes a surprise attack. How will the growbugs survive? Find out in Mockwing Mayhem. Learn more at growbugs.com, where you can find out more about our mailing list, receive behind-the-scenes information, and get all the latest news on the growbugs.